I put on the janitor uniform on purpose. Gray shirt, faded logo, plastic badge with the wrong name. I wanted no shortcuts, no context, just truth without protection. My wife stood across the lobby pretending not to see me. That alone told me enough, but I stayed quiet. Tests only work if you let them finish. When I walked past her table, she laughed. Loud, sharp, meant to be heard. She pointed at the floor near her heels and told me to clean it. I apologized calmly and moved slower than she expected. That annoyed her. Entitlement always needs speed. She leaned closer and said I was embarrassing her in front of important people. I kept my eyes down. The uniform was doing its job. She called me filthy. Said men like me should know their place. Her friends watched. No one intervened. I memorized the words, the tone, the smiles around her. This wasn't about anger. It was about permission. She felt safe saying it. I wasn't there to argue. I was there to see who she became when she thought I was nothing. She made sure others heard. Humiliation only works with witnesses. Her laugh got louder, sharper, and she repeated herself like it was a performance. "Get him out of here," she said, waving at security. "He's disgusting." People turned to look. Some smiled. Some looked away. No one stopped her. That mattered. I nodded once and stepped back like I was used to it. She mistook calm for weakness. She started explaining herself to the room, talking about standards, about mistakes, about how some people never rise above where they start. Every word was a choice. Every choice was public. Security hesitated, unsure. I raised a hand slightly and told them to wait. That confused her. She snapped that she wanted me gone now. Her voice cracked with authority she thought she had. She stepped closer, invading space, daring me to react. I didn't. I reached into my pocket slowly, not to threaten, not to rush. She smirked, convinced I was about to beg or call for help. I wasn't calling for help. I was calling for confirmation. I made the call without stepping away. One ring, one answer, no explanations. I gave a name, a location, and said I'd wait. That was it. She laughed when she saw the phone. Thought I was bluffing. Bluffs need noise. I stayed quiet. She leaned in and told me I smelled like chemicals. Said people like me ruin places like this. Then she spat. Not by accident, deliberate, clean. The room went still for half a second, then her friends laughed to fill it. Laughter is how people hide discomfort. I wiped my face with my sleeve, slow, careful. I thanked her. That word landed wrong. She asked what I meant. I didn't answer. Answers would come with witnesses who mattered. Security shifted their weight, unsure, waiting. She snapped at them again, louder now, trying to reclaim control she felt slipping. Control always gets loud right before it disappears. The doors at the far end of the lobby opened. I heard the change in the room before I saw it. Conversations dropped. Heads turned. Someone important had arrived. I put the phone back in my pocket. The test was over. The CEO walked in without looking around. He never did. People like that don't scan rooms. Rooms adjust to them. He took 3 steps, then stopped when he saw me. His posture changed instantly. Straightened, alert. He looked past the uniform and saw exactly who I was. That recognition traveled faster than words. My wife followed his gaze and laughed, relieved. "That's him," she said, pointing at me. "Your janitor is causing a scene." The CEO didn't respond. He didn't look at her. He walked straight past her and stopped in front of me, close enough that everyone could hear him lower his voice. "Is there a problem?" he asked. I said yes. One word. Calm. Enough. The CEO nodded once, a small bow of the head. Not dramatic, respectful, the kind that doesn't ask permission. The room went silent in a way you can feel in your chest. My wife's smile didn't disappear immediately. It cracked first, then froze. She tried to speak. Nothing came out. The CEO finally turned to her. "This isn't a janitor," he said. "This is the owner." Silence landed hard, and it didn't bounce. I took off the plastic badge and set it on the table. Wrong name, wrong role. It made a quiet sound when it landed. The CEO stepped back half a pace, giving me the space people give authority without being told. He didn't explain himself. He didn't need to. Everyone was watching me now. My wife shook her head like denial could rewind the room. She laughed once, thin and sharp, and said this had to be a joke. No one joined her. Her friends avoided her eyes. Distance forms fast when truth shows up. I told the CEO to continue. He cleared his throat and did what executives do best. Facts, ownership, percentages. Why I was there tonight. No emotion, no embellishment. Each sentence closed a door. My wife tried to interrupt. Her voice didn't carry anymore. She asked me why I would humiliate her like this. That question mattered. I answered it honestly, loud enough for the room. I didn't humiliate you. I removed the protection. She reached for me then, desperate. I stepped back, clean, final. The uniform had done its job. Now she had to stand without it. Her legs gave out before her pride did. She dropped to her knees like gravity finally noticed her. Apologies spilled out fast and messy, words tripping over each other. She said she didn't mean it, said stress made her cruel, said she was trying to impress people who didn't matter. None of that helped. Explanations are useless once the room has decided. She reached for my leg, fingers shaking. I stepped back again. Distance matters when lines are crossed. I told security to escort her out, not fired, not yet, just removed. Process before punishment. The CEO nodded and signaled them forward. She screamed my name as they lifted her. First time all night she'd said it. The sound followed her toward the doors, then stopped. Silence rushed back in to replace it. The crowd pretended not to stare. Everyone suddenly had somewhere else to look. I didn't feel angry. Anger would have meant surprise. I felt finished, because tests don't hurt people. They just show who was already there. The CEO waited. That pause mattered. Everyone saw who decisions flowed from now. I gave one nod. He opened the file already prepared, no questions asked. Termination language, effective immediately, dates locked, access revoked, quiet work, final work. Through the glass doors, I could see her outside with security, still talking, still explaining, still trying to reverse a moment that had already passed. No one inside was listening anymore. That's when power actually shifts, when the room moves on. I signed on the tablet with my finger. No speech, no announcement. The confirmation sound was soft, almost polite. The CEO asked if I wanted to address the guests. I said no. Authority doesn't need closure statements. I told him to have her belongings returned to her car and to notify HR before morning. He nodded and made the call immediately. Procedure over emotion, always. I picked up the janitor badge from the table, looked at the wrong name one last time, and dropped it in the trash. The test was complete. The lobby emptied fast after that. People don't linger when reality shifts against them. Conversations lowered. Eyes avoided mine. Everyone suddenly remembered appointments they were late for. The CEO stayed until the room cleared, then asked if I needed anything else. I said no. I already had what I came for. Through the glass, I watched security escort her to the curb. No shouting now. No tears, just shock settling in. She looked back once, hoping I'd be watching. I wasn't. The moment had already passed. Upstairs, I changed clothes in my office. Same body, same posture, different fabric. The uniform went into a bag, not the trash. Evidence of a completed test. I checked the time. 9:12 p.m. Efficient. When I left, the lobby was quiet again. Clean, neutral, like nothing had happened. That's how power works when it's done correctly. I walked out alone, knowing the next call wouldn't be from her. It would be from everyone who finally understood who had been standing in front of them all along. Her messages started before I reached the car. Apologies, explanations, voice notes sent, deleted, sent again. I didn't open any of them. Some things lose value the moment they're offered too late. I drove home without music, without thinking about what I'd say next. The test was done. Reflection wasn't required. By morning, the story had already shifted. People who laughed last night suddenly remembered details differently. Some claimed they were uncomfortable. Some said they didn't hear what she said. That's how crowds survive themselves. I didn't correct anyone. I didn't need allies. I had clarity. HR confirmed the termination. Access revoked. Email closed. Clean cut. The CEO sent a short message thanking me for the opportunity to address internal culture. I didn't reply. Culture reveals itself when no one thinks the owner is watching. I poured coffee and watched the city wake up. No satisfaction, no anger, just the quiet that follows a finished decision. One part remained, and it wasn't about her. I never pretended to be a janitor to embarrass her. I did it to remove protection, money, status, familiarity. When those disappear, character steps forward on its own. She didn't fail because she didn't recognize me. She failed because she showed me who she was when she thought I didn't matter. I didn't announce the truth. I didn't raise my voice. I let the room decide. Power works best when it doesn't argue. By the time she understood what was happening, the test was already complete and the result was permanent. I didn't need revenge. I needed certainty, and certainty doesn't come from words. It comes from observation, from silence, from watching what someone does when they believe there are no consequences. The uniform was just fabric. What she revealed was real, and that lesson cost her everything she thought she was standing on.